Another really great story on the front of the Oz is Digital Dan's ex-social media guru reveals his secrets. It's someone that's a social media fan as I am. It really caught my eye. The social media guru behind Australia's most sophisticated digital political strategy has revealed its core secrets, including how voters' phones have become the new front door for Labor campaigners. Isn't it really interesting? I guess we're going to see social media will be the next frontier for campaigning, right? And you've been on many campaigns, both federally and state and at local levels. Do you think that Labor have really taken charge with the social media front and the coalition sort of lagging in that area?
Look, certainly not. There is, I think, a misconception out there that the coalition is not good at social media. And I think that's been bred from the coalition being caught on the hop in 2007 against the Kevin 07 campaign, which really was the first time we saw Facebook and we saw social media being harnessed in an Australian political sense.
Sure.
And I was in the room when we decided that the coalition would put two people on social media amongst a staff of 450. Unbeknownst to us, Labor have been working on this for quite some time with Democratic strategists from the US.
Wow.
Since then, the coalition has invested heavily, and I would suggest they are at the top of their game in social media political campaigning. There is not much between the parties currently in terms of the knowledge gap of social media. So we're at parity now, so it would be really interesting. But of course, new things are coming all the time. And it's who's first to harness those new things, those new apps, those new platforms that particularly young voters in their early 20s utilise. And then, of course, political parties have to compete on a social media front with activist organisations as well that are really pushing single issue messages.
Like we saw in 2019.
Of course.
Yeah. Amazing. Now, over to the Financial Review. The OECD urges genuine tax reform, which I think is going to have analysts sort of salivating at this story tomorrow. The Morrison government is being urged by the OECD, good evening, Matthias, to reduce the reliance on income taxes, overhaul the GST, lower tax concessions and develop a clear plan to pay down debt coming out of the coronavirus pandemic. Is this the kick in the pants that all of the state and territory leaders need to kind of get the conversation moving, specifically on GST that's still a few years away?
Matthias Cormann, he'll do anything to get his tax agenda implemented, won't he? He'll even go and become the General Secretary of the OECD
and
put it on the front page of the Australian papers. Give it a rest, Matthias.
Have a rest. It's on a number of front pages in various forms, being the Fin and also the Age and the SMH. But I guess this is probably something that's the Financial Review readers are going to be all up and about against. And we even here in WA, with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, have been pushing the need for tax reform locally. Is it only a matter of time before we have to put our big girl pants on and say, right, we need to talk about the future of our economy?
Sure. Look, there, of course, was the Landmark Productivity Commission report. And since then, governments have been tinkering around the edges with tax reforms. And there's this year, the coalition agenda has started with superannuation reform, which of course has implications for people's tax. So I think started with super, really reforming the financial services sector as well, and we will potentially see further movement. But look, it's a fraught topic, isn't it, of policy. You can't please all of the people all of the time.